Hey guys, hope you're good. So arrived here in Norway and started my first day of quarantine today. So I thought I'd come up with a new series called Quarantine Insights, which I'll share with you throughout the period of quarantine before I move into an apartment that we've got for the winter over here in Norway. And that insight for today was just quite interesting. Just what I noticed yesterday is I travelled all the way from right down South Cornwall, where my family are, all the way through to Stansted, and then obviously took a plane from Stansted to Oslo, and then Oslo down to South Norway. And what I noticed going through England was just how much, obviously there's a lot going on at the moment. It's been a very challenging period of time for a lot of different people in business, in life in general. In life in general has been a challenge because we've had to face certain restrictions, etc. But what I noticed yesterday was coming through the country, travelled on a train, I went through the tube, etc. And it's just funny how our minds make things mean so much, right? And what do I mean by that? Our minds typically make shit up. We make stuff up about stuff. We tell ourselves a story about something and what something means and what it doesn't mean, and what's really going on behind the scenes about this particular thing. I'm not going to talk about anything specific, but the point is that our brain is like a meaning machine. Our thinking always wants to try and apply meaning to something. And the meaning you apply to something ultimately dictates the way that you feel, the way that you see life, the way that you feel about your life. And so there's been many occasions, because I'm a human being like you are, many occasions during the last countless number of months that I've got carried away in my own thinking about what is happening in the world. And it sometimes starts from a place of curiosity. It sometimes starts from that place, but then it ends in me feeling disempowered, frustrated, negative. I start looking at the world from a very pessimistic viewpoint. And I stop and I just realise, hang on a minute, this just isn't a useful place to come from. And that doesn't necessarily apply not only to what's going on right now in the world, but also in life in general. The amount of times we tell ourselves a story about, the meaning behind something someone said to us, or the way in which someone looked at us, or the way in which, I don't know, you can fill in the blanks there. You'll probably have something more specific in your life. But the point is that when you see that it's just thinking and it's just a made-up story and it's just something that your brain or this narration in your mind just seems to become very addicted to, you can actually intervene. You can kind of stop for a second and you can smile, you can laugh, you can notice that, hang on a fucking minute, is that true? Is it useful? Do I know? How do I know? At what point did I know that I knew? So yeah, it's just the understanding that our thinking and a narration in our voice, a narration in our head is always there, it always will be there, but it's our relationship with it. And our relationship with it is actually something that we have influence over. And again, once you see that this narration isn't necessarily you, or it isn't necessarily coming from a deep place, it's coming from more of a, thinky, logical place based on what you interpret, the information you interpret outside of you, you can actually stop and just ask yourself questions. Or you can stop altogether thinking something because it just doesn't make you feel good. And yes, okay, cool, we can think something, feel it, feel the emotion, oh my God, yeah, we feel that. But we have a choice as to how often we feel that. We have a choice as to how often we jump on the train of thought that is taking us to a destination that we don't want to go. And I think that's something to be very aware of, is you have that choice. You have that freedom. And that's what personal freedom is all about. So hopefully this was useful. I can't even speak. I wanted to share it with you, and yeah, it might be useful, it might not be, but yeah, if you got any value from it, comment below, let me know. Anyone you think that might find this valuable, feel free to tag them, and catch you soon. Take care.